If you were to walk into any jewelry store in the world, you would see them. They are sitting under bright spotlights, sparkling inside velvet boxes. They are the ultimate symbol of love, wealth, and power. We are told they are the rarest objects on earth. We are told they are a girl's best friend. We are told they are forever. Most people will spend 2 or 3 months of their hard-earned salary just to buy one of these tiny clear stones. We do it because we believe that the size of the rock is equal to the size of our love. We believe that we are buying an investment that will hold its value until the end of time. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself why? Why is a piece of compressed carbon, the same stuff that's in your pencil lead, worth more than a car? Why do we all agree that this specific rock is the only way to propose to someone? The answer isn't physics, it isn't geology, and it certainly isn't rarity. The answer is the greatest psychological magic trick ever played on the human race. It is a story of a secret cartel, a brilliant marketing genius, and a lie so big that it changed the way the entire world thinks. But here is the first twist. Diamonds aren't actually rare. In fact, if we were to dig up every diamond currently sitting in the ground, there would be enough for every single person on this planet to have a handful of them. To understand how we were tricked, we have to go back to a playground analogy. Imagine you are at school. The playground is full of millions of blue pebbles. Everyone can find them. They are everywhere. Because they are so common, no one cares about them. They are worthless. But then one kid, let's call him Cecil, decides he wants to own the playground. He doesn't just want some pebbles. He wants all of them. He spends his whole life buying every single inch of the playground where the blue pebbles are found. Eventually, he owns every single pebble. Now, does he start selling them to everyone? No. That would make the price stay low. Instead, he locks 99% of the pebbles in a giant safe in his basement. He only brings out 10 pebbles a year. Because people only see 10 pebbles, they start to believe the pebbles are rare. They start to fight over them. They start to pay huge amounts of lunch money just to own one. Cecil isn't selling a product. He is selling scarcity. He is a magician who made the world's supply of pebbles disappear just so he could control the price. This is exactly what a company called De Beers did in the 1880s. They bought every diamond mine in South Africa. They created a single-channel system. If you wanted a diamond, you had to buy it from them, and they made sure the world stayed hungry for diamonds by keeping most of them locked in a vault in London. But owning the rocks wasn't enough. They had to make sure people never wanted to sell them back. This leads us to the second twist. For most of human history, people didn't use diamonds for engagement rings. They used rubies or sapphires, or just simple gold bands. The diamond engagement ring was a marketing invention created in a boardroom in New York City. In the 1930s, the world was in the middle of the Great Depression. People were poor. They were struggling to buy bread, let alone shiny rocks. The diamond business was dying. De Beers realized they had a massive problem. They had millions of rocks, but no one wanted to buy them. So they hired an advertising agency called N.W. Ayer. They gave them a simple mission: make people feel like they need a diamond to get married. The agency did something brilliant. They didn't talk about the quality of the stone. They didn't talk about the price. They talked about emotion. They started paying movie stars to wear giant diamonds in films. They sent lecturers to high schools to tell young girls that a diamond was the only way a man could prove he was a good provider. And then, in 1947, a young copywriter named Francis Garrity wrote 4 words on a piece of paper that changed history. A diamond is forever. This wasn't just a slogan. It was a psychological trap. If a diamond is forever, it means you can never sell it. If you sell your engagement ring, it's like saying your love isn't forever. By linking the rock to the concept of eternal love, De Beers ensured that diamonds would only ever flow one way, from their vaults to your finger. They effectively removed the second-hand market from the world. But this brings us to the third twist. If you try to sell that forever diamond back to a jewelry store tomorrow, you will realize that the investment you bought is a ghost. Imagine you buy a brand new car for $30,000. The moment you drive it off the lot, the value drops. We all know this. But with a diamond, the drop isn't 10% or 20%. It's often 50% or even 80%. When you buy a diamond, you are paying a massive retail markup. You are paying for the store's rent, the bright lights, the insurance, and the marketing. But the moment you walk out the door, the diamond is just a blue pebble again. Jewelry stores don't want to buy your diamond back. Why would they? They can buy a brand new one from the cartel for much cheaper. If you try to sell it to a pawn shop, they will offer you pennies on the dollar. The forever part of the slogan was actually a way to make sure you never discovered that the stone has almost no resale value. The diamond industry is a one-way street. The money goes in, but it never comes out. But as the decades passed, the cartel started to lose its grip. New playgrounds were discovered in Russia, Canada, and Australia. These new kids didn't want to play by Cecil's rules. They started selling their own pebbles. The monopoly was cracking. And then, something even more dangerous appeared. Something that De Beers is currently terrified of. Here is the fourth twist. Humans have learned how to play God. We can now grow diamonds in a lab that are 100% identical to the ones found in the ground. For years, the industry tried to tell us that man-made diamonds were fake. They called them synthetic. They said they didn't have soul. But physics doesn't care about soul. A lab-grown diamond is made of the exact same atoms as a mined diamond. Even the world's best jewelers cannot tell the difference without a multi-million-dollar machine. Lab diamonds are cleaner, they are more ethical, and most importantly, they are 70% cheaper. This created a panic in the vault. De Beers realized that if people could buy a perfect diamond for a fraction of the price, their empire would collapse. So, they did something truly meta. They started their own lab-grown diamond company called Lightbox, but they didn't do it to make money. They did it to crash the market. By selling lab diamonds for a very low fixed price, they are trying to tell the world, look, lab diamonds are just cheap toys. They aren't real diamonds. If you really love someone, you still have to buy the expensive one from the ground. They are intentionally devaluing the new technology just to protect their old monopoly. But the magic trick is starting to wear off. The younger generation, the users of the modern world, are looking at the math. They are realizing that spending 3 months of salary on a rock that loses 80% of its value. The second you buy it is a terrible financial move. They are realizing that the pencil dealer has been overcharging them for decades. This leads us to the final and most important twist of all. The value of a diamond doesn't exist in the stone. It exists in your head. We have been conditioned for a century to believe that certain objects give us status. We believe that the magic money machine of the diamond industry is based on rarity. But it's actually based on belief. If everyone in the world woke up tomorrow and decided that blue pebbles were just rocks again, the entire trillion-dollar industry would vanish in 24 hours. The vaults in London would be full of worthless gravel. We are living in a world of subjective value. We give power to things because we are told to. We pay for the story, not the substance. The billionaire librarian of the diamond world is still there, holding the digital tablet and managing the labels. He is still trying to convince you that natural is better than lab. He is still trying to link your marriage to a monthly payment plan. But now, you know how the trick is done. You've seen behind the curtain. You know that the invisible monopoly relies on your silence and your willingness to believe the lie. The next time you walk past a jewelry store and see those sparkling lights, don't just see a diamond. See the playground pebbles. See the Depression-era ads. And remember that the most expensive thing in the box isn't the rock. The most expensive thing in the box is the story that you've been told since the day you were born. The lights are bright. The velvet is soft, but the vault is full of common rocks. The question is, now that you know